Hello, friends, and thank you as always for visiting the Legend Sports Universe YouTube channel. Legend Sports Universe, where legends play forever. This is another exhibition game for the upcoming Franchise Stars Baseball League that I will be beginning for MLB The Show 22. Again, it will not be for the new version 23. I'm almost done creating the mod. They are not doing year-to-year saves, so I will not buy the new version of the game because that's kind of a slap in the face to a mod community that really kind of makes MLB The Show a big part of what it is. So we will continue running the league with MLB The Show 22. This is the Chicago Cubs and the Baltimore Orioles. The pitching matchup, Rick Reuschel will be on the mound for the Cubs. Milt Pappas will take the hill for the Orioles. Can see the starting lineups there. We'll go over them as this game gets rolling. But appreciate you joining me here. We can kind of talk mod a little bit and just get a little bit of an idea as to what the FSBL is going to be like. From beautiful Camden Yards. They just call it Oriole Park. They don't call it Oriole Park at Camden Yards. That's a little weird. And you see Reuschel warming up, Manny Machado taking some cuts for the Orioles before game time. For the purposes of this broadcast, I'm going to use the quick counts mode just to kind of burn through it a little bit more quickly, as I'm going to have to pick my son up from school, and then after that I have to start work. So just in the interest of expediency, for the exhibition game, we will go through the quick counts. When the real league starts, we will abandon the quick counts and we will do every pitch of our game of the week setup. But Pappas ready to face Bill Lang here, leading things off for the Cubbies. 2-1 pitch, fly ball, out to right, just shy of the track. That one is put away for the first out. So both the Cubs and the Orioles drew a lot of old-time guys. You see the Cubs lineup: Lang, Cavaretta, Stan Hack, Gabby Hartnett, Leon Durham, Walt Morin, Ian Happ, Bill Dolan, and Gene Baker. 1 through 9 for the Cubbies. Here's Phil Cavaretta, 1-1 count as Pappas works to him. Slider pulled to right. Doesn't even have to move. Trying to remember who the starting right fielder is for the Orioles. We'll see their lineup when they come up. Again, doing these exhibition games gives me a little bit of an idea of getting familiar with these teams as well here as I get this project rolling. So here's Stan Hack, 2 men down, 2-1 count. Slider just misses on the inside corner. Pappas wanted that one, doesn't get it. Count is 3-1 to Hack. As Gabby Hartnett swings a bat in the on-deck circle. Delivery from Pappas. And that one looked like it was a ball and is called a strike. Possibly a make-up call from the ump there. That was high and away, but he gets the call. Full count. Palm ball misses down low. Hack draws the 2-out walk. So the Cubbies get a 2-out base runner against Pappas. Here's Hartnett. Hartnett 1-1 the count. Throw over, runner gets back. See Eddie Murray over there on first. Hartnett won't chase the slider. Pappas misses away. It's a 2-1 count. Pappas prepares to deliver, throws over to first, keeping Hack close over there. Though Hack is not a huge base-stealing threat. Pappas delivers. Yanked down to third, and it takes a rough hop there, comes up, eats up Manny Machado. Machado, a very sure-handed third baseman. We'll see if they call that one an error or a hit for Hartnett. Second hop just comes up and just chews up Manny Machado. Gets out in the left field. So 2-2 count. Here's Bull Durham. Leon Durham stepping in. Slashes it the other way. Diving stop. Belanger knocks it down. He's not going to have a play anywhere, but he does save a run. Hack holds up at third. Even with 2 outs off on contact, did not feel like that ball got far enough away from Belanger. So Pappas, after retiring the first 2, has now allowed 3 straight base runners. Here's Walt Morin, the right fielder. Fastball there. Catches the corner. It's 1-2. After I get all the players I want into this set, part of the fine-tuning over the last couple of weeks before the set is released, is Morin yanks this one to right, and it's over the head, out in right field, goes to the wall. 1 run is in, 2 runs will be in, throw home not in time. Bases clearing double for Walt Morin, and the Cubbies take a 3-0 lead. Things have gone down south quickly for Milt Pappas here in the first. Again, Pappas retired the first 2 men. But Walt Morin, if I remember right, Morin was a 40s, 50s Cubby, if I remember correctly. Here's Ian Happ. But what I was saying is in the couple of weeks before, once I get everybody into the game and the roster's set and the ratings, largely done, I'm going to kind of go through, particularly with the old-time guys who had to be created and stuff like that, and do equipment things. Make sure none of the guys from the 20s are wearing elbow guards and shin guards, or have the multicolored gloves. That one carries way out there, tracked down nicely. But Walt Morin clears the bases with a double that's misplayed out in right. Again, I'm not remembering who drew the original 40-man roster for the Orioles as far as what their outfield is. I know Ken Williams is out there. Bumbry is out there. But I don't know who the third guy is. So Rick Reuschel is staked to a 3-0 lead before he takes the hill here in the bottom of the first. Big Daddy on the mound. There you see Johnny Kling.
Now playing third base, number 3.
Oh, so apparently Stan Hack got injured. Johnny Kling is getting thrown into third base because Johnny Kling isn't a third baseman. So here's Al Bumbry leading things off for the Orioles. Fly ball, out to right, dunks in, gets in front of Morin, falls out for a leadoff single for Bumbry as the Orioles will try to scratch their way back into this. Here's Mark Belanger. 1-2 count. Again, I'm using quick counts just because this is an exhibition game. Once the actual league starts, when I do these broadcasts, we will do pitch by pitch. Again, what I'll probably do when the league starts is what I have done with the LSUHL and the LSUBA. We will do every team's opening day, basically, so that people can kind of get familiar with all the teams. And then from there, we'll go to a game of the week setup until the playoffs. And then, of course, we'll announce every playoff game as well. So Kling gets his first opportunity coming in for the injured. Bob Neiman is the right fielder there for the Orioles, by the way. We were at all confused about that. So Bumbry, Belanger, Murray, Gentile, Machado, Williams, Neiman, Grich, and Severide, the starting 9 for the Orioles today. Here's Eddie Murray, man on second. 1 down. Murray pulls the sinker. Way out in front of it, though. Yanks it foul. 2-2 count. That one misses off the outside corner. Count is full. Jim Gentile waits on deck for the Orioles. Reuschel keeping an eye on the runner. Working Murray away again. Murray fouls another one off. Count stays at 3-2. Reuschel gets his sign, delivers. Murray ground ball to first. Nice pick over there by Cavaretta. Reuschel covers. Runner will move over to third, but they do get the second out as Murray is retired. So Bumbry now on third. That'll bring up Jim Gentile. One thing that's certainly going to happen because of the setup of this league bringing in guys throughout history. MLB The Show is very big on platoons. A little bit overly so. Gentile up the middle, picked nicely. Throw to first, Dahlin picks it well. Going up the middle, throws him out, and the side is retired. So Dahlin, with a nice play there at short, will lead off the second. We're through one here in Baltimore. Cubs lead the Orioles 3-0. And now I lost my train of thought a little bit. As far as platoons go, they rely a little too heavy on platoons, I think, with lineups. So you'll have, if you have a batter who's an excellent hitter, I'm not going to think of somebody off the top of my head, but they'll come up. Who's pretty balanced against righties, lefties, but is solid against both of them. If the reserve, say, is terrible, a lefty hitter who's terrible against, lefties, but very slightly better against righties, he's going to get to play against righties over the other guy, which is not really the way it should really work. So, only your top guys are going to be that, that 150, 155 game a season kind of guys in this setup. So you'll see a lot of platoon advantage things taken care of as the rosters come out. There's the walk. Here's Gene Baker. Gene Baker from the 50s, early 60s Cubs, if I'm remembering correctly. He may have been a little bit earlier than that, but not much. Good glove, man. Baker misses. Pappas misses the corner outside. Walks him first and second. So Pappas, after allowing 3 in the first, getting himself into a bit of trouble here again in the second. Here's Bill Lang. Lang flew out his first time up. Again, the roster set up for the Franchise Stars Baseball League. Each team has a master list of 100 players. They're starting 40 for the first season. Their 40-man roster for the first season is selected in a random generator spreadsheet. So not all the best players are going to be there right at the start. There's a bit of a luck of the draw element to how it starts. That one looped out in the center. Bumbury's coming on. He's not going to get there, though. Has to cut it off. Another run will come around. Cubs will have runners on the corners, and the Cubs have jumped out to a 4-0 lead here on Milt Pappas and the Orioles. So there is a bit of a luck of the draw aspect to it. Those other 60 guys will all join the team eventually. They will come in subsequent drafts. I will probably do 3 or 4 joining each season. And we're going to run this as a career mode. So like from the start, teams can trade, sacrifice fly here, run comes in to score, and it's 5-0 Cubs. So teams will be able to trade and do stuff like that after the fact. I am going to turn trades on low because I don't want it to get crazy with it. But we will do trades and free agency and contracts. Initial contracts will be for league minimum and for the however many seasons the player played with that franchise that he's been assigned to. Bill Lang, so Johnny Kling went in for Stan Hack before. There was no notice about an injury to Hack, but now Bill Lang is coming out of this game. So Lang will be replaced. Peanuts Lowry will come in for him as the pinch runner. Peanuts. You don't see nicknames like Peanuts anymore. So here's Kling, again, came in for Hack earlier, as we mentioned. Hack injured on the bases in the first inning. 1-2 count. Pappas, great slider there. Sets him aside. First strikeout for Pappas. 2 away here in the second.
Now batting, the catcher.
So at this point, the Orioles are just going to try to grit Pappas through 4 or 5 innings. Before trying to burn through their entire bullpen early. Here's Hartnett. Hartnett 1 for 1. Slider misses down low. 2-1 count. Pappas takes the side. And the delivery. Misses up high with the fastball. 3-1. So Pappas fighting some control issues today. Falling behind Hartnett, not where he wants to be. That one, fastball, just misses at the knees off the corner. Pappas feels like he's been squeezed a bit today. But there's first and second, and that's going to be all for Milt Pappas. So Pappas doesn't make it through the second. Fortunately, it's just an exhibition game. So Pappas will check out, and the Orioles will head to the bullpen early. A disgruntled Milt Pappas. Coming in, George Bleholder. Like the gloves, like there weren't a lot of those I-form, T-form webbings in the old days. So I'm going to try to fix some of those. A lot of those I will probably end up fixing as I go during the season, because you can edit that stuff while the season is in progress. Because I do want to get the league going, but I will make an initial kind of cursory run of everybody equipment-wise and see what I can catch on the first pass. So here's Leon Durham, Bleholder behind him 3-1, 2 men on. 5-0 Cubs jumped all over Milt Pappas. Although really it was more control issues. And Bleholder comes in and adds to that fire. As Bleholder's walked a man as well. So the bases are loaded again for Walt Morin. Morin came up with the bases loaded in the first and 2 outs and struck a bases clearing double. He hits this one well to right. Walt Morin deep to right field, but it's tracked down by Bob Neiman. And as though things weren't bad enough, they could have been a lot worse there if that ball had traveled another 15 feet or so. Heading to the bottom of the second, Cubs lead it 5-0. So Peanuts Lowry, who checked in for Bill Lang for injury during that inning, Lowry will stay in and play center field. Stepping in, here's Manny Machado. Rick Reuschel, his second inning of work. Slash the other way, nice pick by Cavaretta. Flips it to Reuschel covering, 1 man down.
Batting 6, the left fielder, Ken Williams.
So here's Ken Williams. Williams getting his first opportunity. Williams, a terrific hitter. 1-1 count here as Reuschel deals to him. Slash the other way in the hole. Picked by Bill Dowling. Throw over to first. 2 men down.
Batting 7, the right fielder, number 14.
So here comes Neiman, the right fielder. 1-1 count here. It's Reuschel trying to protect the 5-0 lead he has been graciously staked to. Slash the other way. Getting down, Morin has to play it on the hop. So a 2-out opposite field single there for Bob Neiman. So far, what we've seen of Walt Morin says that there is not much range out there for him out in right field. But if he keeps on stroking 3-run doubles, as he did in the first, nobody's going to complain about the range too much. Here's Bobby Grich. Grich surprisingly low in the order, hitting 8th for the Orioles here. Ground ball up the middle. Dowling ranges to his left, gets a glove on it, but is unable to come up with it. That will go down as an infield single for Grich. First and second for the Orioles, who try to get something going here to chip away at their 5-run deficit in the bottom of the second. Here's the catcher, Hank Severide. mascot trying to get the crowd into this game despite the deficit. Here's the delivery. Ground ball. Another one to Dallin. Goes the short way. Flips to Baker, and the side is retired. So the Orioles strand a couple. We head to the top of the third. Cubs lead Baltimore 5-0. Here's Ian Happ. Happ 0 for 1. So Playholder on, staying on. He's in relief of Milt Pappas, who struggled mightily today, particularly with his control. Playholder gets Happ to ground out to Gritch, one man down.
Number 50.
So here's Bill Dallin. Playholder delivers. Misses with the fastball down low. It's a 2-1 count. Fly ball center field. That one's hit well. Bunbury going back. He's at the track. He's at the wall. Reaches up and makes the grab. Al Bunbury back against the wall. Puts it away for the second out. So here's Gene Baker. Baker walked back in the second. Baker, fly ball to left. Williams going back. Near the wall. Off the wall, one hopper. Throw in, cut off man. Gets it there. Baker will hold at second with the 2-out opposite field double. Wynn playing some tricks out there. Williams took a horrible angle to that ball. Laid out for it, one hop on the warning track. So a 2-out double for the Cubs. Here's Peanuts Lowry. Lowry entered for the injured Bill Lang. Change up there from Playholder. One and two the count. Breaking ball lands in the zone. Lowry goes down looking in the side, retired. So that'll end things here in the third. Baltimore holds Chicago scoreless for the first time today. We head to the bottom of the third. Cubs lead the Orioles 5-0. Sports Time Machine is checked into the chat. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for swinging by. If you watch now, later, whenever, please check out the wonderful channel at Sports Time Machine. Ask, are the doppelgangers allowed, or one dude like Rich in Baltimore, only not California? No doppelgangers. And players only appear for one team in the league. Especially because I want to do it as a career mode. I don't want to have guys on multiple teams. So in cases like that, decisions were based on where a player ranks at his position in WAR for a given team. So while most of the times it's going to be the case, it's not necessarily the case that it's the team he had the most WAR for. It's where he ranks for that team at that position. Basically, the thinking there is a player being with the team that he will be more impactful for in the league, as opposed to who he put up the best numbers for in his career. It's really just a matter of trying to balance rosters out a little bit. Like one that came up the other day, Jack Clark, for example. Jack Clark is actually assigned to the Padres in this league. He had better numbers with the Cardinals and the Giants, of course, but Clark ranks higher on the position list, I think at both outfield and at first base, for the Padres than he does for the Cardinals and the Giants. So basically the Padres have more use for Jack Clark than the Cardinals or the Giants do. So that's kind of how that was sorted out. As Reuschel works to Jim Gentile here with 2 outs, a man on third. Orioles trying to get their first run of the game. Full count. Like Gentile, I got to get his batting gloves off of him. Jim Gentile wouldn't have worn batting gloves. So stuff like that I will have to go through on my final pass before I get this going. Full count, Reuschel looking in. Now gets him with the sinker down low. Gentile swings right over the top of it, and the side is retired. So Reuschel has allowed 5 hits through 3, but no runs. We were third of the way through here at Camden Yards. Cubs lead the Orioles 5-0. Franchise Stars Baseball League exhibition action. Here's Phil Cavaretta. Cavaretta 0 for 1. Playholder has worked an inning and a third so far in relief of Milt Pappas. Cavaretta goes out and gets it. Nice pick, Bobby Grich. Looping liner over Grich's head, reaches back, pulls it in for the first out here in the top of the 4th. That'll bring up Johnny Kling. Again, Kling in playing third at this point because Stan Hack was injured in the first. Johnny Kling, of course, regularly a catcher. I don't even know if Johnny Kling ever actually played third. I'd have to look that up. But he's who gets stuck out there with Hack injured. Yanks this one foul. Count stays at 2-2. Yanked down to third again. Machado picks it cleanly, throws to first. Murray handles it for the second out.
Now batting, the catcher, Gabby Hartnett.
So here's Gabby Hartnett. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Nobody on. 1-1 pitch. Hartnett fly ball to center, but Bunbury right there barely has to move. Puts it away, and the side retired. So far, a nice job by Playholder out of the bullpen, trying to give Baltimore an opportunity to scratch back into this one. Machado, Williams, and Neiman coming up for the Orioles in the bottom of the 4th. So here's Machado. Machado 0 for 1. One and one the count as Reuschel works to Machado here. Fastball misses way up high. 2-1 the count. Fouls that one back. So Reuschel looking for a bit of an easier inning. Again, he hasn't given up any runs, but he has given up 5 base runners through 3. Sinker misses away. Ken Williams swings the bat in the on-deck circle. Full count here. Reuschel working to Machado. Does not want to allow a lead-off base runner. Another high fastball. Machado chases that one. Fouls it back. Was at the top of the zone. Could have gotten the call against him there, so he did have to protect. Machado hanging tough here. Reuschel, breaking ball. Curve just down low on that outside corner. Reuschel disagrees. Snatches the ball in disgust as it is thrown back to him. Here's Ken Williams. Steve Tate has joined the chat. Thank you, Steve. It is great to see you, sir. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'd answer that after I saw Sports Time Machine ask that. As that one's laced down the line, Ken Williams slashes one the other way. Bounces over the wall for a ground rule double. Good piece of hitting there for Ken Williams. Yeah, no doppelgangers. Again, just because I'm playing this, I mean, I don't like doppelgangers anyway, but as I'm playing this as a career mode, I want there to be some length to it. So having like you mentioned there, Frank Robinson for Cincinnati and Baltimore wouldn't really make a heck of a lot of sense in that context. If you are watching now, not only check out Sports Time Machine's channel, but check out Steve Tate's terrific channel as well. Lots of good baseball stuff there with Action PC, terrific projects, Negro League projects, 5-year franchise projects, all sorts of good stuff from more of the mod guys in this sports simulations community. I'm slowly starting to check out some new pages I had not checked out as of yet. I've, of course, now become fond of Beatles Turnley's channel, Replay Sports Network, I think it is. I checked out his channel a bit, trying to get a little more into watching more guys than my usual core who I first got into this, from watching Red Sox fan and Chris Slovic and, other guys who do wonderful work. We call it work, but it's a joy. It's a joy. It's a pleasure. It's a hobby. Full count here. Reuschel working to Bob Neiman. Ken Williams on second. Slider just misses down low. So Reuschel, feeling like he has been squeezed twice in this inning, now has to deal with a bases loaded, nobody out situation as the Orioles try to scratch their way back into this. Again, Milt Pappas. Pappas didn't make it out of the second. So here's Bobby Grich. Reuschel has to be careful here. Grich, ground ball foul. Count goes to 1-2. Cubs and Orioles, the most recent two teams I have done for this project. That is now 23 teams done. Cubs are 23. I've started work on the Brewers, who will be 24. 1-2 the count. Reuschel working the Grich. Misses inside. 2-2. Steve says, this is work, but we do what we do because we love it. Absolutely true. It is work. There's a work aspect to it. But this, like doing the broadcast, doing the games and stuff like this, isn't work for me. I enjoy the hell out of doing these broadcasts and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun. Lined by Grich in the center. Peanuts Lowry going back, makes the play. Runners at second and third will tag. Run will score. They go to third, not in time. That was a fairly close play over there, though. But Machado comes home to score. The Orioles are on the board on the sac fly. Baltimore trims the deficit to 5-1. Steve mentions, loved seeing your Tigers 100 and selected 40 you shared. Yes, thank you. I thought you would appreciate the Tigers one. I posted the Red Sox today. I'll do another franchise or two tonight. Again, I'm just going to try to do a couple each day, and then right before the league starts, I'll probably do a video like for each division, and then that'll get the league started. Out into right, another one falls in front of Walt Morin. Run comes in to score. So another RBI single. So Walt Morin, who had that 3-run double in the first inning, what has been clear is Walt Morin has no range to speak of out there and right. I am going to be re-looking over my defensive ratings, though. I've kind of come up with a little bit of a revision I want to do across the board on that. So defensive ratings will probably change a little bit before this is ready for publication. Again, the goal is to have first pitch ready for March 1st. That's my goal, but it's a loose goal. I don't want to get tied too much to that, because then it becomes stress and a timeline and not fun. 3-6. Oh, the return throw goes wide. So they get the force out at second, but the errant throw gets us a second and third situation. 2 outs now. Baltimore has 2 runs in. Here's Mark Belanger. He says, if once you're done, my friend, you can then start on it all over again for the next MLB The Show. Absolutely not. I will not be getting The Show 23. I think I'm going to, and I do this with several games. I now get games every other year that The Show is not doing year-over-year saves. is such a slap in the face to the mod community. That's such a vital part of making the show what it is. So it's just I'm not going to go buy the new version of the game. Although they are doing a very cool Negro Leagues thing that that I'm glad to see them doing. There's a ground ball to short there. Dolan throws him out to end the inning. But the Orioles get 2 to try to scratch back into this. We head to the top of the 5th. Chicago 5, Baltimore 2. Well, I've used, as he mentions, I have tons of ratings for fielding, range, and arm for catchers and outfielders for many projects. Not sure how you would approach with your file a career rating, a slice. Well, that's actually a good one of the things that you mentioned. So the entire basis of how I set this up, and I'll probably do a short video on it at some point to explain it. This Bull Durham leads off the top of the 5th here. Players' starting ratings are based on their career averages. And then their potential rating is based on their peak 3 seasons. So you'll have guys. This is actually one of the Cubs pitchers, and now I'm blanking on who it was. A very mediocre career. I want to say it was Dick Ellsworth, who was a decent, a fine pitcher, but had one season where he was just absolutely dynamite, like 1962 or 63 or something like that. So that season alone gives him a really high potential, but his core ratings are fairly mediocre. So him actually reaching that potential is probably not going to happen. It could, but it probably won't. So, I want to let, as Playholder has a good 5th inning there. I get caught in here talking about the project, not paying attention to the broadcast, which of course is fine. I love talking shop, especially with someone else who does the kind of work that I do. So I enjoy that. So Eddie Murray comes in here to start the bottom of the 5th. He's 0 for 2. But as far as the fielding stuff goes, I've got defensive run save data from modern players. I've got runs. I guess it's runs. It's a defensive runs total, which kind of the Baseball Reference precursor to defensive runs saved. But that goes back for a longer period, so I can use that for more guys. So I kind of lean on that, and then add defensive run saves into the equation where I feel like it's warranted. But the breakdown, it's kind of like, so if a guy is a -7 defensive runs saved, he kind of has the same impact on his scale across each attribute as it is now. So I'm going to use the imperfect range factor and field percentage relative to league figures to kind of fine-tune the distribution of those numbers for a player's like reaction rating, which would impact how many balls he gets to, his range factor and such, and fielding percentage for hands, and would matter there. Oh, 1 second, my laptop is about to run out of battery, so I apologize for fading off there for a minute. Ground ball to third. Johnny Kling knocks it down. Throw over to first, and he got him. So Johnny Kling, a catcher, forced into playing third base when Stan Hack got injured earlier. Kling makes a terrific play here to gun down Machado. Yeah, so as Steve mentioned, one thing, I reiterate what guys are saying in the live chat because I do set it up because you have to be a subscriber. You only have to be a subscriber for 5 minutes, but you have to be a subscriber to be in the chat, and that's just to keep the porn and spam bots from flooding the chat. So that's why I kind of say what people in the chat are saying. So don't think that I'm like insulting your intelligence that you can't read the chat yourselves if you're watching. But Steve mentions it's easier for me. I create a slice and always looking backward, never have to look at future potential. Yeah, I love career mode. Oh no, I know you are, sir, and I'm greatly appreciative of that, as I am for you. But like when I say it on the video, people who aren't subscribers who might be watching the video, they don't see the live chat. So that's why, like, I repeat what you're saying in the live chat before I answer it. So for the sake of those who might be watching but aren't subscribers and don't see what you're saying. George Blaholder has been absolutely terrific out of the bullpen here for the Orioles. He's trying to let them get themselves back into this game. Here's Gene Baker, leading off here in the top of the 6th. Three-one count. Ground ball to third. Machado picks it cleanly. Throw to first. Murray grabs it. Starts to throw around the horn after the first out.
Now batting, the second baseman, Gene Baker.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was Baker. That was telling me that Baker was on deck. I apologize. Baker is up now. Ground ball in the hole past Machado, but Belanger makes the play in the hole. Nicely done, Mark Belanger.
Now batting,
well picked by Belanger. Throw across the diamond. I'll tell you, Belanger and Brooks Robinson over there was a hell of one side of an infield. I'm not sure you get any better than that. Tapper back to the mound. Blaholder has it. So George Blaholder continues to shut the Cubs down after coming in for Milt Pappas, who couldn't find the plate with a compass today. Neiman, Grich, and Severide coming up for the Orioles. Steve mentions your approach on identifying 100 players per franchise and then auto-selecting which 40 are in use is brilliant. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. You know, I was just trying to do something different than what a usual franchise project does, because I wanted to make it deep. I wanted to, as someone who loves history so much, that one's tapped back to Reuschel for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th. I want everybody to see the light of day in this. But what happens, and I've seen other guys do this, and I did this with my Franchise Stars project way, way back when. You make like, oh, I'm going to get 50 or 75 guys per franchise, and it's so deep. And yeah, that sounds great in theory, as you see Sean Marshall and Don Elston warming up in the Cubs bullpen. That sounds great in theory. But if you start out like that, and then you've got everybody the same age, the bottom guys are never going to see the light of day. They're just going to be stuck in the minors forever. So it's kind of a waste to have those guys. This one struck into the gap. Lowry goes out to retrieve it, gets it in, but Grich will be in at second with a double. So I figured that doing it this way would let me have more length to the league, and it would also create some cool situations. Like one I talked about when I did the first video, and Lou Gehrig Don Mattingly was a very good player. Lou Gehrig is an all-time great. But if you have Mattingly at the same time as Gehrig, what the hell do you do with Don Mattingly? He's not going to play over Lou Gehrig. But if Gehrig becomes a free agent in 6 years, and Mattingly's coming into his second year at that point, or Mattingly comes up, and now you have depth at that position, and you need help somewhere else if you're the Yankees. You need another starting pitcher or something like that. You can trade Mattingly and try to get somebody in for him. So it creates more of a real life situation, I guess, in a Field of Dreams kind of format. So that's what I was going for. But I mean, like I said, all my leagues, I kind of do the same way. It's always bring all the best guys in history. And that's probably overstating it. It's not all, I mean, because obviously not everybody's a legend. I mean, Al Bunbury isn't a legend, but, take relevant guys in history, put them all together in this massive pool, and then let it play out who comes in when, and it creates cool matchups and stuff like that. So everything I do in the Legend Sports universe is based that same way. Even my boxing league. My boxing league started out with guys who were champions. As Bunbury flies out to right here, Morin finally gets to a ball. He hasn't gotten a one all day, but he gets to that one. My boxing league with title bouts started out as champions before 1925 and between 2000 and 2010. And then every year of game time, I add guys who won their first championship in a random 3-year period from history. So again, it's just a different way of doing it because it's boxing and it's one-on-one. But it's the same kind of format. And it's what I do. It's what I do across the board. That one's up the middle. Base hit in the center. Runner comes around. Throw from Peanuts Lowry. And Gritch gets in behind the tag. Hartnett came out in front of the plate to try to field that ball on the hop. Belanger's single brings Gritch home. Hartnett caught it a bit in front of the plate, dove back to try to get Gritch, but Gritch gets past him, and the Orioles have cut this to 5-3, and that's it for Rick Reuschel. So Dick Ellsworth, you will see the first name there, DLC. That is because you cannot say Dick or D-I-C, and I refuse to use Richard for a guy whose name was Dick and everybody knew him as that. We think that we're protecting people as Murray lines out the second to end the sixth. That's the MLB The Show glitch. So Belanger, that one is so funny. I know it drives Chris Slovic nuts with this game too. So a guy gets a big hit, and I guess it kind of sometimes it'll go to the guy who got the big hit. Other times it'll go to do up the next inning as that kind of that between in his graphic. Ken Williams dives, can't come up with it. Loop double to start off the seventh here for the Cubs. This is a dunker down the line in left. Williams had a long way to go. Got there, but just couldn't come up with it. Great effort from Ken Williams, but it's a leadoff double here for the Cubbies. That'll bring up Johnny Kling. Steve mentions the depth for playability is always an issue unless you narrow it into certain periods or decades to minimize the amount. Right. So, the depth, using the pool as big as I do kind of gives me that depth. I mean, scrubs are never going to see the light of day at all. I don't use them. But again, you have, good, solid players, guys in this game, Bob Neiman and guys like that, who were nice players. So, but calling it, the relevant players sports universe doesn't have the same, it doesn't roll off the tongue the same way as Legend Sports Universe does. So here's Gabby Hartnett. Hartnett 1 for 2. Guys you might have cared about, Sports Universe. Line shot the other way. Neiman going back. Tracks it down. Nice grab there by Bob Neiman. Runner tags, moves to third. So George Blaholder, with 2 outs in the seventh, Blaholder came on with 2 outs in the second inning. He has been sensational for the Orioles as they have tried to scratch and claw back into this game. They were down 5-0 when he came in. Milt Pappas had nothing today, particularly in regards to command. But Blaholder has kept the Orioles in it. Here's Leon Durham. Durham 1 for 2. The count is full. Hopped up behind the plate. Several. Looks like he'll have a play. And he does. And the sign is retired. So George Blayholder, I think he's probably given the Orioles all you could have asked him to give the Orioles today. Again, Milt Pappas, huge control issues early on. Here's Jim Gentile. Gentile doubled in the 5th. Again, we'll get rid of those batting gloves after this game. Ellsworth 1 for 3. Line shot. Cavaretta can't get that one. It's a single out into right. Morin gets it in quickly. So a leadoff single in the bottom of the 7th for the Orioles. Good piece of hitting there from Jim Gentile. Love getting best practices and ideas for how others approach this stuff. One of the cool things experiencing by getting more involved in the community. Yes, absolutely. It is a great community of guys. It really is. You know, for one thing, there's something for everyone. So, like, I don't do season replays at all. I don't have any interest in them or anything like that. It's not my thing. But there's all sorts of guys who do really cool stuff with those. Like, I'll read about their stuff occasionally just to try to support guys because it's cool and I appreciate their effort and what they're doing. And, you know, and a bunch of them, there's a bunch of guys who will check out my stuff and click on stuff. I know they're not really guys who, like, watch it because they're more replay-oriented guys and stuff like that. And that's totally cool. You know, it's something for everybody. Here as Machado draws the walk, the Orioles threatening again. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. But by and large, like, everybody is either very supportive or not critical. You know, so it's just a really good environment to be around on the whole. This one dunked down the left field line. That falls in. Run's going to score. They're not even going to try to get him as that one falls in down the left field line. So the Orioles have almost come all the way back. Ken Williams again goes the other way, slashes one. Well, I said the double was slashed. This one was blue. But Williams just taking what they give him. Dick Ellsworth's day is short. Here comes Don Elston to try to stop the bleeding as the Cubs try to stop this one from getting away from them. Here's Bob Neiman. Neiman 1 for 2. Nobody out. 1st and 2nd for the Orioles. Fastball at the knees for a strike. 1-2 to count. Elston could really, really use a double play ball here. Neiman not fleet of foot. Breaking ball away. Neiman spits on that. 2-2. Elston deals again. Another breaking ball. Neiman once again won't chase as Bobby Grich waits on deck for the Orioles. Full count. 1st and 2nd. Elston delivers. Ground ball to short. They might get that double play ball. Dallin to Baker. On to first. Double play. 6-4-3. A huge double play for the Cubs. Don Elston comes in with 1st and 2nd, nobody out, protecting a 1-run lead, and gets the 6-4-3 double play. Terrific turn by Gene Baker, with the runner bearing down hard on it. That said, the tying run is still 90 feet away. Here's Bobby Grich. Grich 2 for 2. Fouls that one back. Count is 2-1. Excuse me, now it was 2-1, now it's 2-2. Elston gets the sign from Hartnett. Here's the delivery. Rich, fly ball to left. Easily playable. Ian Happ, underneath it, puts it away, and the Orioles are turned aside in the 7th. But Ken Williams dunks one down the left field line to get another run home as the Orioles continue to chip away. They were down 5-0. They've now come back to 5-4 as we head to the top of the 8th here from Camden Yards. So coming in for the Orioles will be Zach Britton. Britton will try to put in the work here, keep the Cubs at bay. An outstanding job from George Bleholder. We'll give a quick check to Bleholder's line because he was outstanding. So after Pappas allowed all 5 runs, 4 hits, 4 walks in an inning and 2/3. He just couldn't find the plate. He was behind every hitter, even though he didn't walk. But Bleholder allows 2 hits, walks 1, fans 1, no runs over 5 1/3. An outstanding performance in relief from George Bleholder. Now Zach Britton has to keep it going. Here's Walt Morin. Morin 1 for 3. Morin hit a bases loaded, bases clearing double in the first inning. Gave Chicago a 3-0 lead. Tries to slash this fastball the other way, fouls it off. 1-2 the count. High fastball, Morin fouls it back. Count stays at 1-2. I was wondering as far as pitch types for pitchers after 2000, I want to say 2005. Pitch types were taken from Fangraphs. For anything before that, any pitchers before that, it is from the Nyer James Guide to Pitchers, which is a terrific read if you are any kind of a baseball fan. Morin fouls another one back. Count stays at 2-2. Breaking ball, and Morin was not looking for the slider there. That slider was actually up higher than what Zach Britton wanted it, but he freezes Morin for the strikeout for the first out. So here's Ian Happ. Happ 0 for 3, 3-2 count, 1 down here in the top of the 8th. Again, in the interest of expediency for an exhibition game, I am using the quick counts mode. When the league starts for real, we will go pitch by pitch. So Happ draws the walk there, 1 out walk. Here's Bill Dowling. Dowling 0 for 2 with a walk. He scored a run on the day. Slider ties him up. 1-2. Other way, Neiman comes on, makes the grab, puts it away for the second out.
Now batting, second baseman, Gene Baker.
So with 2 men down, here comes Gene Baker in the top of the 8th. Again, the Cubs led this game 5-0 at one point. The Orioles have chipped away to make it a 5-4 game. Baker 1 for 2. Slashes it. Oh, what a play, Eddie Murray. Baker hit that one on the screws the other way, but Eddie Murray says no, sir. Terrific play by Eddie Murray to snag that liner and retire the side.
Now pitching for Chicago.
So now in for the Cubs, here's Bill Henry, the lefty.
Henry.
As the Cubs try to keep this game from getting away from them. Here's Hank Severide. Severide 1 for 2 with a single. He has an RBI on the day. 2-1 count as Henry works to him. Looper out in the center. That looks like it's going to get down, and it does. Falls in front of Peanuts Lowry. So it's a leadoff single. The Orioles have the tying run on board as the leadoff man here in the bottom of the 8th. Here's Al Bumbry. Bumbry 2 for 4. Changeup misses down low. 2-1 the count. Severide no threat to run at first, especially with Hartnett's strong arm behind the plate. Henry gets the sign and delivers. Slashed to short. Dowland with the play to Baker. On to first, 6-4-3 double play. A huge double play for the second straight inning for the Cubs. Humbrey hits into the 6-4-3. Bill Dowland has been terrific at short for the Cubs today. So that snuffs that out. 2 down, bases empty. Here's Mark Belanger. Looks like Mark Belanger has an elbow guard. We'll have to take care of that. Belanger, ground ball to short. Dowland ranges to his left. Fields throws and gets him. So nice job by Henry out of the bullpen. We head to the 9th inning. Cubs holding on. Lead the Orioles 5-4. In now for the Orioles, Mark Williamson.
Number 34, Mark Williamson.
Williamson, the right-hander. He will face Peanuts Lowry to start off. Lowry came in for Bill Lang, who was hurt on the bases earlier on. Lowry's 0 for 2. Jam shot popped up. Murray is there. Puts it away for the first out. 1 away. So here comes Phil Cavarretta. Cavarretta 1 for 3 with a double. He's driven in a run. I believe he scored a run as well. 1-1 the count. Palm ball misses down low. Count is 2-1. Cavarretta waits. Williamson deals. Right down the middle. That ball got more plate than Mark Williamson was looking for. He got away with one there and he knows it. Cavarretta fouls it back. Count is 2-2. Williamson delivers. Slider inside. Ties him up. Looped out in the center. Humbrey under it as it hangs up for him. Puts it away for the second out. So 2 men down. Here's Johnny Kling. Again, Kling installed at third base after Stan Hack got hurt early on. The Cubbies suffered 2 injuries in this game. It's funny, there was a thing that came up when Bill Lang had to come out of the game for the injury. Nothing came up for Hack. All of a sudden, just Johnny Kling was in the game at third. Kling grounds out to Bobby Grich to retire the side. So the Orioles will have the heart of the order. Murray, Gentile, and Machado coming up in the bottom of the 9th, trying to complete the comeback. To do so, they will have to defeat Clay Bryant. Bryant will face Murray to start things off. Bryant, pretty much strictly a fastball pitcher. Murray 0 for 4. Chases a fastball low and away, fouls it off. 2-2 the count. Bryant delivers. Fly ball out to center. It's shallow. Peanuts Lowry. Camps underneath it. Puts it away for the first out. So Bryant retires the first. Here's Jim Gentile. Gentile 2 for 4, single and a double. He's scored a run. 1-1 count as Bryant deals. Fastball misses away. Count now 2-1. Bryant gets the sign from Hartnett. He wants it high. And he gets the corner on it. No, misses inside. Oh, that looked like a fine pitch from Clay Bryant. Ump disagrees, though, and now it's 3-1. And that one misses down low for ball 4. It has been a tight strike zone all day. And now Baltimore has the tying run on base. Here's Manny Machado. Machado 0 for 2. The Bird trying to get the crowd excited here in Baltimore. One down, tying run on first, 5-4 Chicago. Machado fouls it back. It's 1-2. Bryant looks in, gets the sign from Hartnett. Hartnett sets up low. Bryant back to the mound. 1-6-3 double play, ball game over, and the Cubs hold on. Clay Bryant gets Manny Machado to hit into a game-ending 1-6-3 double play. And after taking an early 5-0 lead, the Cubs hold on, withstand the Orioles' comeback, and survive with the 5-4 victory. A couple of little highlights from the game there. Ken Williams dunking one down the left field line. But we'll check the final board here. So Walt Mooring gets player of the game, 1 for 4 of that 3-run double in the first inning. Put Baltimore up against it. Rick Reuschel gets the win, 5 1/3, allowed 3 runs, allowed 9 hits, but got in and out of trouble. Walked 2, struck out only 2. The loss goes to Milt Pappas. Pappas just could not find the plate. He was behind everybody. Early on in this game, only made it through an inning and 2/3, allowed 4 hits, 4 walks, ultimately 5 runs on his ledger. Final line score: 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Cubs. 4 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Orioles. Check out the box score there. Again, the Orioles got 13 hits. The only offers were Machado and Eddie Murray. You're not going to see that happen too frequently. RBIs: Severide, Belanger, Grich, and Williams for Baltimore. George Blaholder, a terrific performance out of the bullpen. Baltimore's whole bullpen was actually outstanding. Blaholder, Zach Britton, Mark Williamson all got the job done. For the Cubbies, I'm still not exactly sure what happened with Stan Hack and Johnny Kling there. Lang was injured. Again, only 6 hits for the Cubs. The big hit, the 3-run double from Walt Mooring. Reuschel grits his way through a day when he did not have his best, but the Cubs bullpen was also terrific. Sutcliffe got a 3rd. Dick Ellsworth struggled, gave up a run. But then Elston, Henry, and Bryant, 3 innings of scoreless relief to close it out. So that'll do it for this Franchise Stars Baseball League exhibition game. I appreciate you guys joining me as always. Please be sure to check out the Facebook channel. I posted the Detroit Tigers 100-player master list and starting 40, and today I posted the Red Sox 100-player list and starting 40. I'm going to get 1 or 2 other ones up during the course of the day. I'll be doing that over the next couple of weeks. And we're getting to the nitty-gritty here. Got a few more teams to set up, and then I still have to decide how I'm going to handle the last 4 expansion teams, if I'm going to give them a little bit of a boost from a couple of Negro Leaguers each, or if I'm just going to let them fend for themselves as is and make the Negro Leaguers part of subsequent drafts. So I'm still deciding how I'm going to do that. But I still have to do, before I get to the last 4 expansion teams, the Rangers, the Brewers, the White Sox. That might be it. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. The Rangers, the Brewers, and the White Sox. I feel like there's one other older team that I might still have to do, but I could be wrong there. So we're really coming up close to it. The Brewers are the next one on the list. Brewers will be hopefully done probably by the end of the day tomorrow. I'll compile some ratings for them tonight, enter ratings for them tomorrow. So until next time, guys, thank you as always, Steve Tate, Sports Time Machine. Thank you guys for checking in during the day. I hope your day is well. Hopefully I will catch you guys on here later with some of your terrific projects. Again, if you listen to this, please check out their terrific channels as well. Be good to each other, guys, and we'll talk soon.